Conservative Media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John DiVillardo, the 4-time national champion and the super genius and the media expert as well. Paul F. Villarreal joining by phone. Now, I've already kind of said some stuff in my other video about the YouTube stuff, about, you know, what I'm going to do here, what I'm trying to do in terms of helping the YouTube community, that I'm not going to reveal everything that I believe and that I've predicted a lot of things that have turned out to be correct, blah, blah, blah. So if you haven't seen that, please see that. I don't want to repeat it every video and whatnot. I want to just try to get to this stuff as fast as possible. So now, a lot of people, in my personal opinion, have talked about, you know, YouTube's algorithm changes, and sort of kind of related to that, possibly, in my personal opinion. First of all of our personal opinion only, not alleged any fact, not casting this person, all for entertainment purpose only. Please check disclaimers. Sort of kind of related to that, in my personal opinion, is the Reply Girl situation, if you will. And here are my thoughts and then Paul's thoughts on all of this. Okay, on the algorithm changes. In my personal opinion, the big algorithm change that was announced ahead of time, that happened in March, whatever like that, I personally don't believe that was a good way to go. And I'll address that in a little bit here. And you might say, oh, John, you're biased. Okay, everybody on YouTube is biased, okay? Because we're all affected by whatever algorithm change. So, but that's fine. Well, again, listen to what I say, and you can decide if you agree with me or not. And then I think there's been some tweaks since then and whatnot, in my personal opinion, you know. So this all comes down to related videos and suggested videos and stuff like that. Here's my take on all of it at a, again, very high level. And I don't want to get into I'm for this side and I'm against that side. And I don't have a side, okay? The only side I have is making YouTube better. That's it. My bottom line when I look at all this type of stuff, you know, I guess I'll come to this first. I don't worry about what anybody else on YouTube is doing, okay? I don't care about anyone else's channel. Now, there's a caveat on that. That's not totally true. In other words, I'm not afraid of anybody on YouTube competing with us. Like, nobody, all right? And I don't believe that anybody else can really do what we're doing, number one. And number two, like, so what if they do? You know what I'm saying? Basically, yes, at an absolute level, everybody sort of is competing with everybody else. But at a practical level, particularly if you're not like one of the elite YouTubers, you know, whatever someone else is doing with their YouTube channel probably has very, very little impact on you. And to the extent that we can work together and make YouTube better, that growing that overall pie, in my personal opinion, far and outweighs and mitigates any kind of internal point-to-point competition for, again, the vast majority of YouTubers. Now, that being said, there's plenty of YouTubers that I like to watch and stuff like that I think are entertaining, that I think are funny, and of course, you can always learn. I mean, I've been in the media game for a long time, in professional media for a long time, again, major market talk radio host, national television host, whatever. I'm always learning. You know, there's always things you can learn, stuff like that. So I'm not trying to say, oh, I know it all, everything like that, or you can't learn anything. No, you can always learn stuff. But by and large, you have to do you, and if you can be compelling and entertaining doing you, and you're willing to work hard, that's your best chance to be successful, in my personal opinion. Now, let's deal with the algorithm change stuff, and let's deal with the Reply Girl stuff. Here's the thing. There's so much to talk about. I'm going to try to make this as concise as possible. Bottom line for me is, related videos should be just that. Related videos, okay? Not like, oh, here's my video and I want all my videos over here and everything like that. It's like, you know what? And I'm not making fun of anybody and I'm not calling anybody out. This is just, you know, my own little thing that I just put together. I'm not even thinking about anybody. But here's the deal. If anyone wants to, I have a playlist. People can see my playlist underneath. People can see our name. If they want to see more of our videos, it's pretty easy to find. Now that's cool if they, you know, if YouTube wants to put up, you know, some of our videos, you know, to the related video section, that's cool. But, you know, I just feel like, again, the strength of YouTube is being able to find whatever you want to see. And the best way, in my personal opinion, to do that is having that searchable, for lack of a better word, searchable function. No different than using Google. You know, if I'm sitting here and I'm typing in a Google and I want to find, I don't know, about cars, I don't want to see, in my personal opinion, this cooking video or this cooking website, even if it's the most amazing cooking video or website in the world. That's not what I want to see right now. I want to see about cars. So, maybe it would be okay to see a good car video, a dopey car video, a car video that had a lot of hits, but, maybe wasn't so great, whatever. That's okay. Like, I can live with that. And that's kind of, in some ways, some of that, to me, maybe I'm wrong, is kind of like the roulette factor of YouTube, and it sort of makes it a little bit exciting. It's kind of like opening a present or something like that. And so the bottom line, whether you agree with that or not, the bottom line for me is that it's so critical for people to be able to find what they want. Not what, all the videos of the person who just put up this video I just watched, has. What I want to see. And I believe that needs to be a related thing. Now, if you do it that way, let's stipulate this. Any system, any algorithm you're going to come up with, in my personal opinion, is going to have, pros and cons. It's going to have some strengths and weaknesses. But again, YouTube, it's the whole world talking to each other. Whole world making videos and watching videos and talking about the videos, stuff like that. So if you agree with me that being able to find what you want, that's related to what you're watching and seeing, is what makes YouTube great. Then under that system, you're probably going to have a situation where people can make replies, and the reply girls or reply people or reply whoever, that might enter into it. And here's my take on all that. By and large, so what? Who cares? You know what I mean? And I'll deal with that in a second, but I don't care about that. If there's 2 reply people, 50 reply people, 100 reply people, whatever, guess what? I believe that over any length of time, significant length of time, if someone has a lot of views, they're probably doing something right. They're probably doing something right. Somebody probably wants to watch them for whatever reason. That's generally the case in my personal opinion. What I don't like is just, like, in my personal opinion, this like little complaining back and forth and this and that, and oh, YouTube's ruined now. It's like, listen, if YouTube gets away from everybody being able to make videos and the search function working really well, then I think YouTube might have a bit of a problem. And maybe, we've experienced some of that with that big algorithm change. That's the thing that Will DC just made a video on this, and Will's great. I met him, super cool guy. Hope to do some stuff with him, everything like that. But in this issue, I disagree with him. Didn't a lot of people just complain about that big algorithm change in March, and now it's like, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe, Will, you can tell me if I'm wrong, bro. But it's almost like, that video he made about the reply girls, like, hey, the reply girls are back, and what's YouTube going to do now? Dude, how about, like, YouTube does nothing? How about that? You know what I mean? If you don't want to watch the reply people, don't watch the reply people. Here's the other thing you have to think about. It's kind of, I hate this whole 99%, 1% thing, but in some ways it kind of works here. It's like this, who do the reply people make replies to? Totally viral videos or the top YouTube people. So in the grand universe of all YouTube videos, that's not that many videos. Okay, what is that? 10 videos a day? 20? Maybe 30? And so are you really making the argument, Will, or anybody else, and I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just asking, is anybody really making the argument that we need to change all of YouTube and the algorithm to deal with 20 or 30 videos done a day? Really? And here's the other thing. If it's so easy and the reply people add, such little value, then you'd think that the barriers to entry are pretty low. Meaning that, pretty soon will be 10 reply people or 50 reply people, top reply people, whatever like that. And therefore the economics for any individual of those reply people might be diminished more and more, and the competition gets tougher. And if you're not adding additional value, other than just, copy pasting tags or whatever and just throwing video ups, then you may not work out for you. That's my take on it. The bottom line is, in my personal opinion, YouTube really needs to make the related videos, in my personal opinion, related. use the search function. If I'm watching a video on cars, I want to see more videos on cars. If I'm watching, I don't want to see a Vivo video. I don't want to see a cooking video. If I'm and same with animals and on that line, and vice versa. If I'm watching cooking or music videos or Vivo or whatever like that, I think that's pretty important right there. And if there's a really super hot video, you guys are trying to push or something like that, I don't mind throwing a few, different things, and that's fine. But by and large, I really feel like the search function, for lack of a better word, the search function and I'm putting search and related videos sort of kind of intermingled here because making the analogy to like Google, right? Really need to work well for YouTube, and that's extremely important. Paul, do you agree with what I've been saying? What are your thoughts on this?
I do agree with what you're saying. I think that the market will work itself out
exactly
the way that you mentioned, which is if people keep doing this, if they find a loophole in an algorithm, as you mentioned, every algorithm has loopholes.
Right.
That's the way that they are. That's the way that it goes. If people continue to do that and the consumer searching for videos of the viewer doesn't like that person, they're going to end up hurting themselves.
Right.
They're not going to get views. People are not going to go to their stuff, or they're going to complain about those people. And so it will work itself out. Now, can those people get placement? Sure, they can get placement. But as you mentioned, this is only an issue for maybe the top 1% of all YouTube partners.
Or less.
So I understand that those people might not like it. I get that. But again, I think that this is a short-term matter, and I think that if the people that are doing this, Reply Girls or anybody, is doing this, and people don't like what they're being taken to in these videos, it's not going to work. You either have the talent and you're compelling, or you don't. So I agree with what you're saying here. I don't think there should be an overreaction to this phenomenon. So that's what I think.
That's what we think. What do you people out there think? And of course, Will, feel free to make a response to this. Put a comment down there. Other people, that want to weigh in on this. Obviously, it's an important issue. We're trying to give you our opinion and hopefully maybe, help move the ball forward for everybody a little bit. So what do you people think about that? Give us the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John DeVillo, the 4-time national champion, the media expert, and the super genius. That is Paul F. Villarreal. We are Conservative Media. Please rate this video up. Also, please post it to your social networking sites. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.